Okay, we're back with Dave the Raw Food Truck Driver, and that video about talking about sex, Dave.
Yeah, it kind of threw me a curveball there. I wasn't, I didn't know it was coming, so I was a little.
Yeah, very popular. It had 55 or 9 comments in less than 24 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah. So I forgot to put a clip in there that we did afterwards, just that we were going to splice in because we want to make a few points, and it's a really good clip.
Oh, yeah, about the, since the heart attack and stroke.
Yeah.
Where's my sex life at? Yeah.
Right.
All right, well, we'll go into that a little.
So, Dave, after your heart attack and stroke, maybe you can explain your situation.
Yeah, 8 months ago I had a heart attack and a stroke. And I believe that the reason why I'm completely healed from it is from refusing to eat any of the cooked foods in the hospitals and my commitment to getting off of the drugs that they put me on as quickly as is safely possible. With all that said, having had a heart attack and stroke 8 months ago, I can still, my sex drive and my sex life is still very much alive. And I can still, have wonderful love-making sessions for up to 8 to 10 hours. And that's 8 months after having had a heart attack and stroke. That's what raw, organic, vegan does for you. Seriously.
So who is this girlfriend of yours?
Yes. I'm not going to say publicly right now for a little bit.
Cool. One last thing. You've been staying at our place, right?
Yeah, oh my gosh.
He's been going through a lot of healing, I think, everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. I have not had as good a night's rest as I have at Matt's place since the heart attack and stroke.
3 nights in a row. I've witnessed it.
Yeah.
He doesn't. He goes to bed like at 9, and then he wakes up at like 11.
It's great. It's great. It's. I think it has to do with the clean air, but also there's just something about. I lost my cell phone, so I have no track of time anymore. So my body's kind of going. It's getting dark. It's time to go to bed. You know what I'm saying? And there's no television here. There's no radio. There's nothing to distract me.
No party anymore.
Yeah,
Party man. Party man.
Oh my gosh. I tell you, if you've ever been around me at Ito's, that's where this whole thing comes from, me being a party man at Alox. Yeah, absolutely. It is the most best rest I've ever had. Matt, after the first day when I came down and told Matt and Angela, Matt's immediate response was, Dave, just stay here and get as much sleep as you can before you go back, and just sleep and sleep and sleep. And he's right. It's really great. It's incredible.
And then you can go party again.
There you go. There you go.
We've got tips and recipes for healthy living. So for fun and inspiration, come and join us in the raw food world.
That a little bit. The 8 to 10 hours is I'm functioning at that level again. I cannot say I was functioning at that level, the first 3 months after the heart attack and stroke. But it's very interesting. One of the things that happened to me, because the right side of my body was paralyzed as it started healing, and I just want to make a note to this. I refused to eat any food, cooked food, in the hospital whatsoever, and they told me I had to. So that created a tremendous amount of tension. But they finally caved in and let Teresa make my smoothies and my green drinks for me. And I really honestly and truly believe that was a huge part of me of me being able to heal to the point that I am. There's no doubt in my mind. I mean, really, after having been raw for 3 years plus, if I would have started eating their food. I mean, we took a walk around the ward, and the stuff that they were serving was turkey or ham, mashed potatoes and gravy, and a little bit of white salad, So I just want to factor that into all of this because I really believe that. But after about, once my jaw, the right side of my, was paralyzed, the right side of my mouth, my tongue, I was actually having a drooping, the right side of my face drooped. And I sat down on this guy's table. I laid down on this guy's table. He told me, when you get off the table, all the stuff is the nerve endings will be back that are alive. If they're not alive, they can grow back, and they will, which is the exact opposite of what Western medicine teaches. Once a nerve ending is dead, it's gone. So he told me this, and sure enough, 45 minutes after he did some Qigong, Reiki, and pressure points on me, I was instantly got up off the table, and I was instantly healed. I could swallow again. It hurt. It hurt very, very badly because I hadn't used the muscles in, at that point, I think 6 to 8 weeks. So I recognize that part of this healing journey that I've been on is discovering other modalities of healing. And I'm not trying to at all negate or bash Western medicine. Let me make this very clear. I think there's a balance in everything that we do. But it was around that time that I experienced my sex drive starting to come back. And it was probably another 30 to 60 days before I was performing at the level that I do now.
8 hours?
Yeah, 8 to 10 hours, pretty much. Yeah, just, you know. I mean, really, what is the greatest thing? To me, the greatest thing, the most beautiful thing, like a sunset, I'm trying to compare this so that it's not coming out as some lustful thing. But really, it's for me, it's watching a woman have an orgasm. And how blessed a woman is to be able to have multiple orgasms, whereas we men only get to have 1 or 2 during our experience with lovemaking. And when you really think about it, you know, I'm watching these mothers around here. Matt, there's women raising their children and they're breastfeeding their children. And I was thinking about this. I live my life. I observe everything and then start thinking it through. But, you know, it's a woman that gets to have the child and experience that life inside of her. We as males miss that. Then, on top of that, while the umbilical cord is cut when the child's growing, they actually bring the living life force. They bring life to the child through their own body, through the breast milk. What an incredible experience. We as men never get to experience that. We miss out on a lot of things, you know. The women are they are so blessed and so anointed to be. And really, you know, I look at everything and I just go, wow, how incredible that they're so attached to life in that way that we as males will literally never experience. So, you know, if you're a woman out there, just realize how blessed you are. You truly, truly, the greatest gifts in life you guys get to experience. We as males don't. So, just is what it is. You know, but yeah, at this point, I can go 8 to 10 hours, 8 months after a heart attack and a stroke, and I usually do, to be quite frank with you. You know, I love making, when my girlfriend and I get together and we make love, it's usually an all-night thing.
Can I ask another personal question?
Yeah.
Were you circumcised?
Dude, what are you doing to me here?
Well,
okay. Yes, I am circumcised.
Okay, cool.
As a child, yes.
Right.
Yeah. Not from the Jewish religion. They did it to everybody at the time. There was some kind of medical thing going on saying that it helped with bacteria, so they circumcised everybody.
Right. Well, the reason I ask is because supposedly it's harder to last as long if you've been circumcised or something like that. So.
Oh, you know, now I'm thinking about that. I have heard that before.
Right, that's why I asked.
That's a fallacy. That's just a fallacy. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So don't eat the hospital food if you want to last 8 to 10 hours.
Yeah, there you go. If you're in the hospital for something and you're in an emergency situation, you know, whatever drugs they give you, you'll have to deal with that. But really, truly, the hospitals, they have a nutritionist there, but they don't understand about getting the actual foods that you're eating, getting those nutrients into the system. And for God's sakes, if you're at a hospital, that's one of the most important things you need to do. You're not at a hospital to take a vacation. You're at a hospital because usually there's a life-threatening situation or it's very, very serious. And in those situations, you want to be dumping massive amounts of raw, organic, vegan foods into you. You want to be dumping massive amounts of juice into you. You want to be drinking lots and lots of smoothies while you're there. And you have the right to do that. They don't have the right to tell you that. What they have the right to do is say, you can't, and they did this with us, you can't bring in a cooler, you've got to make the juice away from the hospital, you have to drink it immediately upon being brought in, to which we just ignored it and, you know, hit a little cooler and did everything we wanted to do anyway. But yeah, absolutely, just realize that cooked foods, you're not going to get the nutrients that you need in your body the way you are through raw organic living foods. So if you ever are going to experience raw organic vegan living foods, juices, green juices, chlorophyll, for God's sakes, when you're in a hospital, that's the time to do it. That's the time to do it. And you know, if you're on blood thinners, I'll just tell you straight up, have a little bit of greens, maybe not as many because of the vitamin K. So I do understand that. After having just had a heart attack and a stroke, you know, my blood needed to be thin because I was so high risk of another piece of plaque dislodging. And so I did recognize that. I still drank a lot of green, though, and the doctors were getting upset with me. But with that, I was taking the 8 different types of vitamin E to thin the blood, along with they had already put me on the Coumadin, and I was aware of some of the things that they were doing with me at this point. So I did recognize, and this is just me, there's a whole controversy of topics out there about this. For me personally, I believe that some prescription medication in life-threatening situations to bridge that gap is okay. But I don't believe that there's one single medication, prescription medication, that we should ever stay on for any prolonged period of time. And to give you an example of that, I was put on 7 medications when I was in the hospital. I'm off of 3 of them. And I chose to get off of the blood pressure medications first because they are the most life-threatening. The longer you're on them, they become life-threatening to get off of. People have been documented to actually die getting off of blood pressure medications. So that's just the route that I took. And I found a doctor, a holistic doctor in Mexico, that was willing to help me work through this. So I'm doing this under a MD's care, but with a little bit different approach than Western medicine in the sense that I look for a holistic or naturopathic doctor. But yeah, absolutely. And if you want to change your love life, really, truly, you want to change your love life, I throw this out again. Matt and I just say, you and your loved one do 90 days raw, organic, vegan. Just try it. You're not going to do it for the rest of your life. It's just a lifestyle change to see. And then message us back, because we already know what the answer is going to be, but let us know. Because I have yet to have one person that's gone raw, organic, vegan, and not told me that that was the best time of their life. I have not had one person say that. Not one. Now, there have been people that with illnesses and diseases that I've coached, and I've had to fine-tune some things with them. And I always tell them it's their choice and their decision. But once we get that fine-tuning down, it's the best time of their life. It's just like it was for me. My first 90 days raw, I was still dying because someone had told me that I could eat all of the fruits and vegetables, or fruits I wanted, high sugar stuff, and I was a diabetic. And I found that that was just not the case, that even though it's natural, organic, vegan sugar, it still affected me as a diabetic. So once I fine-tuned my diet and found the things that worked for me, then I have been living a life that it's no longer a way of a diet. It's a way of life, and I don't even think about it anymore. I really don't. When I've said this since I realized it after 6 months of being raw, and I had lost God knows how much weight, but I realized that I was so committed to being 430 pounds and finding the answer in a pill, and just wanting to live my life as comfortable as I could. I was as committed to that as I was to raw organic vegan. And it's no longer a matter of being committed. It's just a way of life for me. And I will also say this, get vitamin B12 as a supplement if you're raw organic vegan. There's no doubt in my mind, the studies are coming out time and time again that you need vitamin B12 as a supplement. So,
Sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, it is so much fun. What an honor and privilege to get to know Matt and Angela and to just hang out with them. Having the time of my life here. And at 55 years of age, if someone would have told me now, before, that I thought that the most exciting time of my life was when I was in my early 20s. And it's just not so. This is the most fantastic time of my life. And I'm literally in the moment of living an incredible, incredible, incredible life that I never even dreamed or knew was possible. And that's all out there for you. And I honestly and truly believe that a big part of the catalyst for that can be, again, raw, organic, vegan. It comes back down, for me personally, to these three things: raw, organic, vegan, and then just finding what works for you within that spectrum of diet. It's just an incredible life. Blessings to everyone.
Nice. Thanks,
Yeah.
Dave.
Thank you, Matt.
Cool. All right, everybody. Well, I wanted to put that clip out there, but I think we're going to put it at the very beginning of the episode now because that was a whole TV show in itself.
Sorry.
No, that was good. That was good. So we're going to put it at the beginning, and then it will come into this. Sound good?
Cool. Sounds
And-
like a lot of fun.
And we're going to do some more videos, right?
We are going to do videos. Matter of fact, I've been talking to Matt, and we have fun doing this. This for us is just fun. You know what I'm saying? We're living our lives, and we can do it, and we can share with you guys. And so that's what we're going to do. And I've communicated to Matt that I'm interested in trying more of your products. And the ones that resonate with me, I would love to share with you guys. Again, I'm not being paid. I'm just telling this to Matt now. I communicated it to him a little bit earlier, but there's nothing I'm trying to... If something resonates with me, I'll share it with you because I'm at a point where I feel everything that I put into my body. And that's an incredible point to be at, just as I'm sure you are, Matt. Just
Yes.
as
Oh,
I'm sure
absolutely.
Angela is. You reach that point. That's another incredible aspect about raw organic vegan. At some point, you stay with it. You will reach a point where your body feels every single thing you put in it. And it's just a matter of getting your body flooded with the right nutrients, phytonutrients, beta-carotenes, everything that's out there, the lycopene, the antioxidants, everything. Your body needs that. Once my body was flooded with that, eventually my cravings went away. And I lost 230 pounds in a year and 3 months, flat. I know another guy, Philip McCluskey, a friend of mine, that lost 200 pounds in a year. And I did it without exercise. And I will say this, that sounds really good to people that are really overweight. No exercise, cool. But you do want to exercise. At least go on walks, because if you're 50 pounds or more obese and you've been that way for over 3 to 5 years, it's going to take a while for your plaque to break off and disintegrate. You don't want to have what happened to me, which was a heart attack and a stroke. The stroke was a piece of plaque breaking off and going up, and I thought I was pretty darn clean. And I didn't know that for me, having been obese like I was for 25 years, it's going to take 7 years, maybe even longer, for that plaque to actually break down. I went down to Tijuana for a month. There are very few people. Most people, they go I'm forgetting the name of what it's called.
Health Institute?
Well, yeah, it's in Tijuana, but I had
Chelation?
chelation therapy. Thank you very much, Matt. Yeah, I had chelation therapy, and I did it for a month. Most people do it for 10 days. I did it for a month. It breaks down the plaque, it cleans things out. And I actually had the numbness in these fingers start to clear up.
Wow.
So the only two aspects is, well, there's three. There's these two fingers I have numbness left over from the stroke, and a little bit right here on the right side. But I use it as kind of a Geiger counter for what I should be eating. So I noticed that it actually flares up, and so I know to not eat that for a while. And then I've noticed also that as time goes on, things that I had to stop eating for a while, I didn't eat any avocado. For a while, I didn't eat any olives, and that was a withdrawal symptom for me because I love olives, as Matt can testify to. And I would judge it based on what I was feeling here. So it's kind of nice to recognize that, you know, I had a stroke and a heart attack. I know what I'm supposed to do with it. I know that I'm going to be writing a book and sharing with people about raw organic vegan and how to reverse heart attack, stroke and heart attack, heart disease for under $5,000 or $6,000, whatever it costs me. And as I figure out the ways to get off the different prescription medications, I'm going to write about it in the book, and I'm going to put it in there. And I'm just going to say what I did. And if the FDA wants to come after me, so be it. But I'm about getting the word out. The company I created was Gettin, Gettin, the Word Out Productions, because I only have a 9th grade education, so I left the G off to always remind me and help me stay humble about where I'm coming from.
Wow.
Absolutely.
You know what I heard, speaking of exercise? You know music conductors?
Yes.
I hear that they live to be usually very old.
I had heard that too.
Because
they're moving the lymphatic system, I believe.
Yeah, and it like brings oxygen to the heart. Like this motion.
Wow.
Yeah, so maybe that's something.
So I had heard that too from somewhere. It's interesting you bring it up. Yeah, that is interesting. So, but if you're losing 50 pounds or more and you've been 50 pounds or more overweight for longer than 2 to 3 years, you want to do some exercise. If nothing else, just walking, but something for your heart, so you don't think you're all healthy and perfect and good, and 3 years later you have a heart attack, and then God forbid a stroke.
Right.
So, and if you do, I'll tell you right now, don't eat any cooked foods when you have the stroke, because
you won't last 8 to 10 hours.
Yeah.
And who we got
That
there?
was the last thing I was thinking. This is Dave, the Raw Food Trucker.
And Matt Monarch, and we'll see you again tomorrow at the Raw Food World TV show.
Right on.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again at the Raw Food World.